Good morning, Paul. Boker Tov. Hearing some echo. Oh, that's because I'm not on mute.
You're connected 2 times.
Yeah, I know.
We hear an echo. You sound like you're coming in from Jupiter.
I am. I visited there recently. I'm mute there. So you want to do this in person at the chapel? Or not? Paul.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey, Steve.
how are you?
Oh, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. How'd the move go?
Great. We had a massive day on Friday. Jacinda and Mindy are going to join us here.
Hi, guys.
That there's some light
Okay,
that
I'll
is
go
like,
get
oh, I got to turn these curtains. It's too bright in the background there.
Are you at the chapel now?
Now we're at the bay.
You're at the bay, yeah.
It has to be closed because it's like coming. Wait, I don't know what. I'm trying to find it where that's a little better.
Well, you always have some light coming through your crown chakra.
Yeah, we had a massive day of moving and unpacking, and then we had a beautiful Shabbat with 7 of us. We did it on the oval at the top, and then Emmett set up the projector. We had 6 of us doing yoga and Mia, so 7 beings were there. And then we had a Shabbat dinner that was just spectacular. And we used the altar that Jody had created. So we had, the flowers, the marigolds, and not marigolds. What are they? Chrysanthemums.
Marigolds, I think.
Marigolds. And then we had, we're starting. So, and then we had, we lit the feng shui paper in a bowl.
Right.
Everyone was freaking out. I thought I was gonna burn the chapel down. Thanks. Oh, I need the long one, actually. It's sort of hard, but I'll try. I might burn my hand.
Here, I can do it. My hand's small.
Well, we'll do it as well. No, I can't do it. It's way in there. So
Okay.
you're sitting down there. You can't be seen.
Hi, Mindy. I see her.
Well, it's because I'm putting this way back here. All right. So we lit the candle. This is actually a candle that I've been lighting. Jacinda actually made it in her oh, it went out. Sorry. In her company, her prior company.
Prior company.
Is it just the 3 of us? Or
No, it didn't start yet. It starts.
Oh,
We're going to start. We're about to start.
We will have more than the 3 of us.
is it-
We've had 12. We've had minimum 12, max 15, I think.
Yeah, average 10 to 12.
No, average 12.
Well, yeah. Be positive.
So is Jody not here?
Jody is everywhere.
Jody had a cousin. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
So I can start the Moda and the.
Okay.
She likes to do the one that's being played, number 11, because then Jody thinks that everyone around the world is doing it. Maybe true.
Say it again. She just graced me with.
Jody thinks that everyone around the world is listening to this.
Absolutely right. There are millions and millions of people.
Man, I really. Can we just get so we can all see the. Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Behizar tabi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Vezarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Vezarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha Shehazarta bi Nishmati behemla Rabba emunatecha ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Moda ani lefanecha Ruach v'kayam Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Oda ani lefaneka ruachai nikaya Oda ani lefaneka ruachai nikaya Kabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Kabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Moda ani lefaneka ruachai vekaya Moda ani lefaneka ruachai vekaya Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha. Once more. One more round.
Moda ani lefanecha
Ani lefanecha ruachai vekaya Moda ani lefanecha ruachai vekaya Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Moda ani lefanecha ruachai vekaya Moda ani lefanecha ruachai vekaya Shechazar Tabi Nishmati Behemla Rabba Emunatecha Shechazar Kavi Nishmati Dhamma Rabba Emuna Terekam.
Boker Tov, everybody, Boker Tov. It's with really sincere gratitude that Jody, Paul, and I welcome each of you this morning with our hearts very full as we delve into Chesed, the divine presence of love that's emanating through each of our hearts, our souls, our beings, extending to each of us who are here right now, extending to everyone in our communities, everyone who's fighting for Dharma, for righteousness. Our prayer this morning that uplifts all righteous souls on the planet, all righteous souls who've ever lived, all righteous souls who will live, are filled with the emanation of love from God. So in our journey of Teshuvah and transformation, takes us through the month of Av. We started there with the destruction of the temple, and we began this contemplative experience using the Sefirot and returning us to Elul, which we entered this week, and the high holidays. Each week we use one or more chants and guided meditations that corresponds with an ascending Sefirot. And this week is Chesed. The program supports cultivating aspects of ourselves in preparation for transformation and self-actualization during this epic period in our history. The times we are living in call for us to become spiritual activists and to emerge as our greatest selves. We honor this journey of liberation, revelation, transformation that is happening in every moment. And two of the intentions that Jody, Paul, and I, we developed a long list of intentions for the program, but two that I wanted to highlight. One is from nothingness to what kind of future we want to create for ourselves. And I relate that to the, what's called the Ein Sof, that sense of nothingness. And within that space of nothingness, we bring forth love. We bring forth love from our hearts. The other intention that shapes our intention for the program, the 9-week program, is holding a deep inner space of forgiveness and healing. And the reason I chose that intention today is I think without Chesed, without deep, deep abiding love in our heart, that we can't get to that place of healing and forgiveness. That when we bring that intention of Chesed, of love, that we could forgive the worst things that have been done to us and to our people and on the planet. And then we have the possibility of healing. So Chesed, if you remember, Jody spoke about Gevura. Paul, if you want to put up the Sefirot, the Tree of Life. Gevura, Chesed, Tefera, all in balance. When Tefera, when we're centered, when we're grounded, we're able to generate love that filters all our power. We can't express our truest, greatest self, our truest, greatest power, unless guided by love. So a few of the teachings that I just wanted to read that I garnered from Art Green and from Jody are: the first to manifest is Chesed, the grace of God. So if we're entering into difficult situations and we need to invoke all our strength, the intention is to focus on love. Let love generate it. God's mercies are all over his work. As we emerge from oneness, we too are filled with love for each and every creature. So in that Ein Sof, in that nothingness, emerges love, and emerges love for every creature on the planet. And it emanates from our crown, from Chesed. So love, and we'll do this in our guided meditation, and maybe you can invoke it in the chants. We allow that love to emanate through our spinal column, through our nervous system, going down to Malchut, back up, resting in Chesed, resting in our heart. And our ability to continue this divine flow allows us to pass on the gift of love to each other. We also recognize that Gevura, as I mentioned, unchecked, is the source of evil. So when we face evil, the only way to face evil is with pure Chesed. And that's our call on the planet right now. We hold Chesed as our expression of divine love, our expression of Ein Sof, the never ending and beginning of the universe, all comprised of divine love. One who acts with love and kindness below enacts love and kindness above. Chesed's message is 4 words: open up your heart. And in the chants today and in our meditation today, invoke, I know your name. I'm speaking to you. I possess the word that will cause you to look up and respond when I call out. God calling us and us calling God. So with that, I'm going to turn us over for our chanting session and ask Jody to take over.
Paul, were you able to put the chant up in the chat?
Oh, I need, yes, I can do that now.
Okay,
But
thanks.
Steve, I couldn't share the screen. You have to give me screen sharing.
So he screen sharing, he
I
can,
just go right to the chant. That's fine.
okay.
Ramona?
Mhm. I'll start it so you can get used. There we go. And Paul is gonna,
It didn't work. I'm working on it.
okay. I have to learn how to do that too. Well, I'm gonna just start.
Get to it through the email.
Sent an email to everybody this morning. But here we go. Raman Ramamuad Havaya Eloheinu Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu and it means raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. It's from Psalm 99, verse 5. And it's Fred Rogers' favorite quote was from Saint Exupéry's The Little Prince. He had it framed and hanging on a wall in his office. What is essential is invisible to the eyes. When we exalt God in prayer, we are raising up, lifting up, and honoring that which is essential. Through our loving attention and passionate expression, we are making that essential spark of divinity. We make it visible and known. When we share that essential divinity through prayer, it makes itself available to us as truth and love, so that we can live from the highest essence that is in us. So we'll repeat Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu, then Ramu Adonai Eloheinu, then Ramu Shekinah Eloheinu. And here we go. Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu, Ramemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Ramemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Ramemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Ramemu Adonai, Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramamu Shekinah Eloheinu, Ramamu Shekinah Eloheinu, Ramamu Shekinah Eloheinu, Ramamu Shekinah Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu, Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu, Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. And the last time, Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. And now our second chant. Welcome back. Let me hear your voice. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. O woman in the garden of love, let me hear your voice. And it's from Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 13. We aspire to be the listening friends who loyally listen for the voice of Shekinah. She is whispering always, gifting her wisdom and love to all who enter the garden of this life with the requisite attention, receptivity, strength of purpose, longing, and open-hearted expectancy. In listening, we surrender to the widest embrace. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, Hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Chavarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Havarim makshavim lekolech, hashmeini, hashmeini. Chavarim Akshavim Lekolech Hashmeini Hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. And the last time. Havarim, Havarim Akshavim Lekolech Hashmeini Hashmeini. Havarim Akshavim Lekolech Hashmeini Hashmeini. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. Oh, woman in the garden, this garden of love, let me hear your voice. And Steve, if you'd like to enter into the meditation now, everyone can keep your eyes closed.
And just continuing your deep belly breathing, keeping your shoulders back. Just imagine there's a energy ball above our crown, the crown of our heads. And this energy ball is just filled with love, divine, pure love, and just allow this field, this ball of energy to enter through the crown. And just in your own time and in your own breath, allow this ball of energy, of love, to work its way down our spinal column very slowly till you get to the base of the spine. And when you get to the base of the spine, just repeat that a few times, bringing it up above the crown and back through the spinal column. in every place along the spinal column as you're doing this on your own. You're cleansing every cell in pure love. You're cleansing every muscle, every tissue in pure love. You're cleansing all the nerve fibers in pure love. When we stop at Malchut, at the base of the spine, we're gathering energy from the earth. We're gathering energy from each other. We're just feeling pure love entering through the base of the spine, rising up through Yesod, through Tiferet, up through Ches, up through Keter, the crown. So in your next couple of breaths, let's come to center in our heart center and just invite all the chesed, all the pure love right into that giant place of energy and love and light in our hearts. And if we open up our palms, we offer this love to our parents. We offer the love, pure love, to all of our ancestors. And we offer this pure love to all of our teachers and all of our guides. And as they are basked in love and guided by love and shielded by love, so too are we. And just bask in that place for a moment. Breathing deeply, that feeling of just immense, beautiful presence of God emanating love through our heart. And when you're ready, let's find a mountain somewhere on the planet where you've been or where you want to visit. And just sit yourself down, surrounded by the majesty, the regality of this mountain. Its presence is love. Its blooms are love. Its expressions are love. Embracing each of us right in our heart center. And from this center place, let's repeat the name of God, Yud He, Vav He, on every breath in and every exhalation. Breathing in Yud, breathing out He. Breathing in Vav, breathing out He. And repeating. So that love is emanating through the Keter, through our crown, into our hearts and flowing back out through the crown chakra, through the crown Sephirot. And let's just stay silent for about 5 minutes. I know your name, and I'm speaking to you. I possess the word that will cause you to look up and respond when I call out. Jody, you want to end us with some chants?
Ramanu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramemu Havaya Eloheinu. Ramamu Havaya Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekhinah Eloheinu. Ramemu Shekhinah Eloheinu. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us. Raise up the truth, lift up our love, honor the God within us.
Paul, you want to close it?
Wow. Thank you, Steve and Jody, for that powerful practice. I just wanted to start off and say this was our 6th week, and we've covered 6 of the Sfirot. As Steve said, the ascending Sfirot in the Tree of Life, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. We're going to do 11 in total, so we're going to do 5 more in the next 3 weeks. So it's going to, you know, we're preparing actually ourselves. And I just wanted to offer a couple practices for you all to consider during the week as we try, you know, our intention is for experiential and embodiment practices. So now that we have like 6 Sfirot, Malchut, Yesod, Netzach Hod, Hesed, and Gevura, and next week we're preparing for Tiferet, which is creme de la creme of Sfirot. But now it's like we have enough of the Tree of Life to start doing a diagnostic. We can actually start to sense the energies of these different Sfirot, and like figure out like which of those within us is blocked in any one moment. And that's a practice that you can practice any moment actually, because energy is always changing and our bodies are always reacting to energy within us and around us. So for me, like this past 6 weeks, I have been working intensively on Yesod, Malchut energy, which is I have like a blockage there from trauma and historical trauma. And I really have been like cultivating a lot of work in that zone. And I do a diagnostic on all 11 of the Sfirot. So, and I think, you know, as we go through the next 5, it keeps building on it. Another practice I wanted to offer in terms of this intention of embodiment and experientialness of these Kabbalistic energy Sfirot is a practice that Rabbi Shefa taught us. It's called spiritual photography or spiritual videography, or I'm now calling it spiritual holography, like hologramography. And it's about, like, we've been talking about, Steve mentioned it, like the cycle of liberation, revelation, and transformation that occurs in every moment. And so sometimes we have a memory that we want to recall to help us like tap into that kind of experience. Either it could be liberation, revelation, or transformation, and link that to our experience of the energy in our body that we may be cultivating awareness of. So I just want to share a quick story. I was in Zambia in 2004. I had lived there for 4 years and had left 4 years prior and was returning for a visit. And I was going to visit a friend. I was driving and I was filling my car with gas. I was at a petrol station and there were these 4 homeless boys that were outside the petrol station and they were begging me for food. They were hungry. They were literally, I don't think they had eaten for at least a day, maybe 2 days. And I was going off to my first world dinner at a Chinese restaurant in Lusaka, Zambia or something. And I just got this, I was like, it was so painful to me. So I decided to buy, there were 5 of them, 5 guys, kids. They were like 9 to 12 roughly. And I went in, there was a chicken shop right at the petrol station. So I bought them chicken and chips, I bought 5. I gave them all chicken and chips. And, you know, what happened was there were like all these other people that came out of the dark that were trying to get the food because there were other people that were hungry there. And I was like, you know, I had to like push these adult guys. They were older, they were teenagers. And I was like, stand back, please. You know, I was like protecting the kids to eat the chicken and chips. And they were eating like so voraciously. I was like, they were like, I had never experienced hunger, actually. These kids were actually hungry. I could tell they were eating with that kind of vigor. And then I was like watching them, and a couple of the boys were like putting chicken bones and part of the chicken in a bag, and they were like hiding it under their arm. I was like, what is going on here? And I started like inquiring to them, like, what is happening with you? Like, imagine, this is a 12-year-old kid, extremely hungry. And he's like, my grandmother takes care of us back in the compound, and I'm saving some food for my grandmother. Mm. And to me, I just got this like, now that is chesed. That was like a chesed moment that like totally transformed me, like to experience that level of generosity and loving kindness that those boys had for their grandmother back, who hadn't eaten either probably, you know. So I bring that memory up when I'm ever cultivating my Hesed moment. So I'm trying to do that for all 11 Sfirot. I don't quite have that all done yet, but I'm aiming to get little spiritual videography for all that. Anyway, those are embodiment experiential practices that help you use chant and use the Sfirot as part of self-actualizing, which is our goal. So I'll stop there. We have a few minutes for, this is my goddaughter Jacinda, who's with us tonight, and Mindy's down there on a meditation cushion on the floor. So just so everyone, these are our mishpucha. We've been meeting every week, most of us, and it's been really beautiful. So I know anything that people want to share from your experience today or your practices during the week. I'm like, I can't wait till Tiferet next week. I'm like so excited. Anna L?
So I had a kavanah after I got your sheets that, you know, I wanted to be able to bring down more vision. So first I made my crown of Shekinah, which is called Shekinah Speaks. And the love that we're bringing in, my acronym that came through this, and I'm using a word that I don't usually use in everyday life, but it speaks of the truth. So love is light, offers variety eternally. I believe variety is truth. So that came through. And then the very last thing is, you know, Steve had us do the Yud Hey Vav Hey meditation. However, I did it where I brought it back up as Havaya Hey Vav Yud Hey. And that really was powerful.
Say that again. What was it? Hey.
And, you know, instead of Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, it's Hey, Vav, Hey, Yud. I'm sorry. So I said it wrong, but I'm always playing around with the permutations of these things anyway. So whatever it comes is coming through loud and clear through the power of the Hebrew letters, which are the Devarim Shekinah.
Thank you. Beautiful. That's exactly, you know, experimentation and playfulness and making it your own, you know, creating it, what works for you, you know, that's the whole purpose here. So, and Carol, I got your email. I'm going to respond. I moved houses this week, so I was unable to respond. So please forgive me. It's on my mind. I will respond soon.
I'll say something real quick. So the melodies to these, usually I learn them by listening, and there were so many nuances in the melody that I have, the app is like GarageBand, and I haven't played piano in I don't know how many years. So Shefa's got the music to the songs also on the website. And I made my little keyboard so that I could learn it
Wow.
the way that she does it, because there's something, you know, I feel that to get the melody just right, it's like she's in this place of channeling when she's creating these chants. And a lot of times when she does them, the English is done almost as in harmony with the Hebrew. So someone is singing the Hebrew and then she comes in with the English while you're chanting the Hebrew. And the notes, how they merge together, is also very powerful. So you're on the Hebrew of it, you're on the music of it, and then the harmony of it. So it's just fascinating. That's the first time I've ever done that. So if I get my act together and really learn to play the piano.
Jody, you're reading, Shefa loves that kind of precision, so you're right on her path. And for me, I'm tone deaf and I'm not musical. Like, I just like, you know, I honor it and I want to get there one year. So I don't want to scare people into like, you know, I think Shefa is like, you know, that's her thing, exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
It is 11 o'clock, so people have to sign off.
Does anyone else want to share?
Yeah.
I just wanted to share something else about Chesed. It just feels like it's really timely given what's going on in the world, and that as we confront the next 3-4 months, that whatever fear, anger, you know, where we just lose a sense of self because of some activity that's going on, I think I invite all of us to return to this place of Chesed and Gevura, where Chesed just informs our being. There's nothing that could throw us off our center. There's nothing that could throw us off our center of love, our place, our greatness in our heart, no matter what the universe may throw at us. This is our time to grow. This is our time to shine. And it just feels like this Chesed piece is emanating this for now through November and beyond.
So it is 11. If people have to go, feel free to sign off. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes and keep processing and sharing. So if others want to share, please.
Alexis wanted to share.
Oh, beautiful.
You have to unmute. Can you unmute Alexis?
Steve can.
I can.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh,
You're on. You're good.
sorry. I had lunch outside at in Congressional where they had the tables, and I was sitting there with friends, and I noticed there was a mailbox just across from where I was, and I had this. I didn't do it, but I really wanted to hug the mailbox.
Let's go hug mailbox. Instead of hugging trees, we can hug mailboxes this week, this 4 months ahead. I love that. Whoever thought that was something we would have to charge like that?
That's great.
Whoever thought?
Beautiful practice. Anyone else?
Larry, it was nice for you to join us this morning.
It was so nice. It was so nice. So I just wanted to pick up on something that really, really, really like was extraordinarily compelling. I think it was the 4th bullet point that you guys put down, you know, in the email you sent out. And I'm used to thinking of judgment and strength, you know, Din and Gvura as being different names for the same Sfirah. I mean, that's the way I've understood it all these years. But at least implicit in that, what you were saying in the bullet point, is that Din or law or just sort of thinking at some level is a bridge between Gvura and Chesed.
Yes.
I personally found that brilliant, and I just don't know. I haven't read that in Art Green. But it's like, wow. And you usually think of Tiferet as the bridge between the two.
Yes.
But the idea that you can ground yourself in some kind of thinking structure, in ideas and words, Dvarim, is like, wow. I mean, that's, I really want to be thinking about that a lot. And I just want to thank you guys. Jody, I really get what you were saying about the music. It is such a gorgeous process. And I love the precision of music and the magic of music. And thank you so much for your voice in making it alive. And just thank you guys. This is beautiful.
And it's wonderful seeing everybody this morning.
Rabbi Sandy had something.
I also was just wanting, one, I appreciate, Larry, you lifting that up. And if you have a source of where that came from.
Yeah, it's in the Art Green book that I.
Oh, it is in the Art Green book. Okay.
Yeah, and I could find the page, but it's if you search Chesed,
Okay.
it's in that discussion.
But I also was just wanting to express my gratitude for the three of you doing this and the beauty of it and the power and the building of it. It's really made a difference. And I have to say, I'm sort of struggling. I saw the post about Shefa's High Holidays, and I'm like, my heart is pulled there. My community is here. I'm not sure what to do.
Do both.
We're right with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pop in and out of both.
Yeah.
Steve and I are too.
That's what we're thinking.
But I just wanted to express my thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
my gratitude.
Glad you're with us.
Yeah,
Hey, Sheila.
that's the beauty of Zoom, Sandy. We can do both, isn't it? Some positive thing. So I was interested in, sometimes Chesed was defined as love and sometimes as loving kindness in your today.
Yeah.
And I always thought of it as loving kindness. Of course, with love being a big aspect of it. The word Chesed, Ahava, I thought was love. But I really like loving kindness because it seems like there's action required.
Mm.
Or more direct relationship with someone than just love, which is a little more, it's a big concept and a wonderful concept. And the idea of treating people and everyone in our actions in a loving kindness way, with Chesed, I think is beautiful. And I loved your example. And I wanted to say that you were also showing loving kindness. In addition to that young boy taking food home to his grandmother, of course, you were emanating Chesed to those young boys in Zambia. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this Sefirot is something, and all of us are Kabbalists in some way, right? Like every time you read it, it's something new and fresh about it, right? It's like almost like the Torah Parsha of the week. There's something new. Like we're finding these new lessons and new ways of understanding these things about Chesed, that's the power and beauty of it. So just want to acknowledge folks have been commenting on, that was a new insight or a new revelation Larry had. Me too. I mean, I'm reading this stuff and going, it's all new because I'm different. I'm evolving into who I'm becoming. And so I'm hearing things and have different awarenesses. So it's beautiful.
Carol wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting in Rabbi Fred's Musar class on Friday. He asked us to think about which Jewish values were embodied in the Democratic Convention. And the one that really came to me in thinking about it today really was Hesed.
Mm.
All the love that was pouring out to all different people and the caring, it really was the Hesed moment.
Mm.
What will the Republican one be, I wonder?
Oh my God.
I would call it Gevura.
Yeah.
Let's see, and let's bring our Chesed.
And the bridge.
I'm going to watch it, though. I'm not watching a minute of it. Sorry, no way. Marla?
Yeah, I'm listening as I'm doing my stretches, so I appreciate hearing everybody's thoughts. I wanted to say two things. Carol, when you were talking about the convention, I just remembered that I had a dream last night where love was flashing. So thank you for this morning and bringing that forward. And the other thought I wanted to say when you were talking about Gevurah, I was looking it up, and I think it says restrictive strength. And I was thinking about the difference between force and power. And that strength that is power is very different than strength that is force. And maybe that's a way of thinking of restrictive strength. It's like, how do we channel our strength? So just following that thought out there.
I like your haircut, Marla.
Oh, thank you. We do what we can now.
Yeah, I've got something.
Larry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the Republican convention, and I actually, I'm going to be serious about this. The word that's coming to my brain is protection. And I'm in this class on the meta meditation. And this is sort of, it's been hard for me to really get on board with meta meditation, but I've been thinking about it a lot this week. And this whole idea of may I be safe, may you be safe, may we be safe, is a huge yearning of all of us. And it's a calibration thing. You know, what protective measures, what do you do to protect yourself? And it's a non-trivial question, I think. And I think the Democratic side and the Republican side have, and let's forget the hatefulness now. You know, let's just talk about classical conservatism. You know, that there are different approaches to a healing modality that I think most of us are really, you know, lifting up, and a protective modality. And you need both. And it's just a matter of the calibration of where we're going to draw the line. So my goal in life right now is to understand classical conservatism, where they're coming from. And if I could do one little thing to make some bridge between people who side on the side of too much protection, but understanding the need for protection, that's one of my goals, intentions right now in life. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot to say, but that's enough for now.
Shamati, that was really powerful, Larry. Thank you for sharing that. I just want to remind everyone, in the Malchut, our first week, we talked about Malchut energy as being a source for a protective field. And we did a chant called the EFR chant, Energy Field Recharge. And we created a protective shield around us. And we can actually put that shield around all of us and do a collective, you know, protection. So I think you've tapped onto something very deep. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So I'm going to do EFR this week to protect myself, because I get triggered by them, you know. And then I can, if I'm safe, then I can offer my chesed, you know, and I can, whatever they're up to, whatever mishigas they're up to, I can still, you know, see them as pure souls, and still offer my unconditional chesedness. But I have to feel protected first. And I'm going to experiment this week with like drawing that protective field from the center of the earth, which is the kind of aperture, you know, for Malchut, is what we shared on the first week. I don't know if that'll work. I'm going to try it though, but thanks for that protective offering perspective, because you're right. But even extreme neo-fascism, you know, they have some kind of, they want to be safe with their ideology, right? So that safety metaphor, I think, that you offered goes beyond even classical conservatism. I guess he didn't want to hear anymore. He signed off. Anyway. Anything else from anyone? We're doing great. See you next week for Tiferet, and love you all. Have a great week ahead. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Thanks.
Peace and blessings,
Oh,
everyone.
Larry, I thought you were done hearing me. What? what I was
Yeah,
saying.
I'm sorry. Something came up that I had to address, but it had nothing to do with. But thank you so
Okay.
much. No, it was
Saying
not a
you're talking
reflection.
about
on you.
classical conservatism, looking at a safety kind of thing, which is different than. But I would even argue, I would explore, the neo-fascist also, because they're not classical conservatives running the government now. It's neo-fascist,
Right.
or some people say fascist.
Right.
And those two zones are also creating us protection or safety, quote unquote, in their logic of reality. Maybe, I don't know.
So Baldwin talks about hatefulness coming out when you can't feel pain. You can't go to the pain.
Is it?
Oh, that's interesting.
It was,
Who said that about pain?
Baldwin, the African, Baldwin, yeah.
Oh, James Baldwin.
James Baldwin, yeah.
Oh,
which is why the study of trauma is so crucial.
So that book, My Grandmother's Hands, do you know that book?
No.
No, it's written by a trauma.
book. I just ordered that. It's on the Panayur mailing list, and you can get
It's
it.
amazing. It's just amazing, and it's basically a therapist, an African American therapist who's into trauma treatment.
These two just read it. Minnie read it in her Lady Doctor's book club, and
What's the name of it again?
My Grandmother's Hands, or some Grandmother's Hands, something like that.
Yes.
It's a thematic therapy.
Yeah.
It's a somatic what?
So it's trauma and pain. It's so severe, you're numbed out, and all you can do is hate. Is that what
Yeah.
That's what Baldwin is saying.
The author is who?
I can look it up. It's upstairs.
If I
But
Google
just
My Grandmother's Hands, it'll come up.
it'll come up.
And
It'll come up.
Steve, if you order it on Kindle, we can both read it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, love you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Okay, see you next week.
Yeah.
Week.
Bye.